Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that the next global conflict might not start with a single explosion, but with a quiet decision made behind closed doors. No dramatic announcement, no clear warning. It's just a shift in alliances, a move on a map, a message sent in silence. Right now, the United States, Iran, China, and Israel are locked inside a geopolitical chess game where every move looks calm on the surface, but underneath, the pressure is building. This is not just another political rivalry. This is a slow-burning global confrontation that could reshape power, borders, economies, and daily life across the world. And the most dangerous part is that most people don't fully see it coming. To understand what's really happening, you have to stop looking at headlines as isolated events. These are not random tensions or temporary crises. They are connected pieces of a much bigger story. A story about influence, survival, control, and fear. The United States wants to maintain global leadership in a world that is no longer unipolar. China wants to rise without being contained. Iran wants security, recognition, and regional dominance. Israel wants survival in a hostile environment where threats don't come with warning labels. None of these actors can afford to appear weak, and that alone makes the situation volatile. Before we go deeper, if you want clear, known-sense analysis like this without media noise or emotional exaggeration, make sure you like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps this content reach more people who want to understand the world beyond surface-level news, and it keeps you ahead of the curve as global power shifts unfold. The United States sits at the center of this equation, but not in the way it used to. For decades, American power was unquestioned. Military dominance, economic influence, and political leverage allowed Washington to shape outcomes across continents. But today, the U.S. is facing strategic fatigue. Long wars, internal polarization, and economic pressure have forced American policymakers to rethink how much they can control directly. This doesn't mean the U.S. is weak. It means it is more cautious, more selective, and sometimes more reactive than before. China understands this moment perfectly. Instead of confronting the U.S. head-on, China plays the long game. It invests where America withdraws, builds economic dependency instead of military bases, speaks the language of cooperation while quietly expanding its influence. In the Middle East, China doesn't present itself as a moral authority or a military enforcer. It presents itself as a partner. Trade, infrastructure, energy deals. No lectures, no public pressure. This approach is especially attractive to countries like Iran, which have spent decades under Western sanctions and political isolation. Iran's position in this geopolitical triangle is often misunderstood. It is not simply a reckless actor looking for conflict. Iran is a deeply strategic state shaped by history, invasion, and betrayal. From Tehran's perspective, the world has repeatedly tried to weaken, isolate, or overthrow its system. This creates a mindset where security comes before everything else. Influence in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen is not about expansion for glory. It's about building buffers, depth, deterrence. This is where Israel enters the picture with a completely different sense of urgency. Israel does not have the luxury of long timelines. It operates in a region where threats can materialize quickly and violently. For Israel, Iran's regional influence and nuclear ambitions are not abstract risks. They are existential concerns. That's why Israel prefers preemptive action, intelligence operations, and quiet strikes over waiting for diplomacy to fail. From cyber warfare to covert operations, Israel works constantly to delay, disrupt, or derail Iran's strategic progress. Now here's where things get truly dangerous. The U.S. is Israel's closest ally, but it is also trying to avoid a full-scale Middle Eastern war. China is Iran's economic lifeline, but it doesn't want regional chaos that could threaten energy supplies or global trade. Iran wants deterrence, not destruction, but its methods increase tension. Israel wants security, but its actions raise the risk of escalation. Every player wants control, yet no one fully controls the outcome. What we're seeing is not preparation for a traditional war with clear sides and declarations. This is a shadow conflict. Cyber attacks, proxy forces, economic pressure, intelligence leaks, assassinations, sanctions, and diplomatic maneuvering. Each move is designed to stay just below the threshold of full war. But history shows us something important. Long periods of controlled tension often end with sudden, uncontrollable events. One miscalculation is all it takes. A strike that goes too far. A response that crosses a red line. A domestic crisis that forces a leader to act aggressively to maintain credibility. In such an environment, escalation doesn't happen because leaders want war. It happens because backing down becomes more dangerous than pushing forward. China's role here is especially critical. While the U.S. focuses on military alliances and security guarantees, China focuses on shaping the environment. By strengthening economic ties with Iran and other Middle Eastern states, China slowly reduces the effectiveness of U.S. sanctions. This weakens one of Washington's most powerful tools. At the same time, China presents itself as a neutral mediator. Even though its long-term goal is clear, a world where American dominance is diluted and no single power sets the rules alone. For the United States, this creates a strategic dilemma. Confront China directly and risk global economic instability. Ignore China's expansion and risk losing influence permanently. Support Israel unconditionally and risk regional war. Pressure Israel to restrain itself and risk political backlash at home and abroad. Every option carries costs. And then there's public perception. Modern geopolitical warfare is not just fought with weapons, it's fought with narratives. Information, misinformation, framing, and silence all matter. Each side wants to appear rational, defensive, and justified. The truth is often buried under layers of strategic communication. This makes it harder for ordinary people to understand what's really happening, and easier for sudden events to feel shocking when they shouldn't be. What makes this moment unique is how interconnected everything is. Energy markets react to Middle Eastern tension instantly. Global shipping routes feel the pressure, stock markets respond to rumors, social media amplifies fear and speculation within minutes. A regional incident can become a global shock faster than ever before. This means geopolitical strategy today is not just about territory or military strength. It's about timing, perception, and restraint. Despite all this tension, it's important to understand that none of these players want total war. War is unpredictable, expensive, and politically risky. The real struggle is about positioning, about shaping the future balance of power without triggering collapse. But the margin for error is shrinking. As alliances shift and red lines blur, smaller events start carrying bigger consequences. A drone shot down, a ship seized, a facility damaged. Each incident forces responses, explanations, and decisions under pressure, and pressure is where mistakes happen. As we move forward, the key question is not whether conflict is possible. It's whether restraint can hold long enough for a new balance to emerge. A balance where power is shared, influence is negotiated, and survival doesn't depend on constant escalation. History tells us that such transitions are rarely smooth. I want to hear from you. Do you think this geopolitical tension will stay in the shadows? Or are we moving toward an open confrontation sooner than most people expect? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Your perspective matters, and discussions like this help everyone see the bigger picture more clearly. If you found this analysis valuable, share this video with someone who wants to understand global politics beyond headlines and slogans. The more informed the conversation, the better prepared we all are for what comes next.